only on esportbf.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's Jordy Invitational. I'm here with AWildeTime and BrettFX, and 10 of Jordy's former teammates from both Battlefield 5 and 2042, and we're here to kind of honor him. As most people here know, he passed away, well, just a month and a day from today, and we've been doing everything we can to, honor his memory. As he meant a lot to us both as a competitor and as a friend. And there's also a charity GoFundMe. We've been raising money for the critical care unit that took care of him in his last days. And that's what his last request to us, to raise money for them. And so that's what we'll be doing. I'll be posting on the Twitch chat and throughout the stream the GoFundMe link, so feel free to click that esportbf.com/Jordy. And I'll leave you guys with AWildeTime and Brett. Enjoy the match, guys.
Hey guys, cheers that code. That was mint and explains exactly why we're here tonight with this Jordy Invitational. Jordy was a core part of this community, not only in the competitive sense, but also as the content creation space for Battlefield. And so far, not only the players, but fans and the community itself have raised over £6,000 to that charity that he wanted us to set this fundraiser for. So make sure you guys check out that link. Even if you don't donate, it's worth just checking out to see the awesome work that these guys do. Critical care is huge, and especially in the UK, it's available to everyone, and every little helps, everything like that. For those of you who don't know me, I'm AWildeTime. Been casting since Battlefield 1 with ESB and with other leagues around. And kind of it's a little bit great to be back to Battlefield 5, back to spectating again. Joined with my American friend across the pond. Brett, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. It's good to be here, and I know several of you guys out there in the community have recognized my voice, recognized my face. It's good to be back as well. I was talking to Code and Tim and WildeTime a little earlier. I think it's been almost 2 years since I've done a Battlefield cast, which is insane to think of, especially with all of the work that I've done with ESB in the past. It, like Mike was saying, it's good to be back, and it's good to be here with everybody around. It's unfortunate for the circumstances, but as we said, we're trying to do a good thing here, so please go check it out. If you can't donate, that's perfectly fine, but please share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, and let's just try and get as much support for this as possible. But we do appreciate each and every one of you guys for showing up. Again, like you said, Jordy was such a huge core of this community, both as a content creator, as a player, as a friend. We've seen him at events. We've seen him go to, Gamescom and bigger events like that. And it really is, it's heartbreaking. But we're here to kind of celebrate his memory, because, as much as it frustrated the man, he definitely loved Battlefield. He loved playing. He loved the guys that he was able to play with and have those memories with. So we're gonna have some fun here today, and hopefully we're gonna be able to see some really, really good matches.
Yeah, and some good matches we have. We've got two teams playing tonight for this Jordy Invitational. Team Chef and Team Bush. So we're starting off with Team Chef here. We're going to be starting with Lawrence, Stella, Jimmy, Rubber, and Maxi. An absolutely all-star team, and I think Bush is going to be exactly the same here, guys. And Bush has got Berg, Evo, Sam, Ash, and Relentless. I mean, these guys were all in the sort of top 15, top 20 of the last Battlefield 5 event. All of these guys absolutely destroyed. I mean, some of the most memorable moments for me would be the likes of Jimmy on the top there, Prominence, just laying fire down on that road as that support class. And then you've got guys like Maxi playing as the recon. I mean, he came from a sort of a more streaming content creation side of things and completely took a lot of us away when it came to the competitive side of things. Absolutely mint. And I think everyone in this lineup tonight is going to put on an absolute class of a game for us.
Absolutely. And I recognize each and every one of these names. It's awesome to see them out here. And we got One of the names that stands out with me, I've cast him for a very long time. That's Berg, man. I don't know why, but I just love that guy, love that name, love seeing him play, and it just kind of brings back all the good memories that we've had in the past, seeing him playing as well as Jimmy. Although Jimmy's getting a little bit of ribbon out there. I mean, they're kind of picking on him a bit there in chat. So I don't know what he did, but yeah, he's got some heat coming his way. So hopefully he's going to be showing up and maybe proving some of them wrong.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of these guys have been very, very active in 2042. They're still playing the game. I know a couple of the guys have been bouncing between Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, just playing where they can. And it's been quite nice to see that even though the scene isn't as active as we would all like, the guys are still remaining quick on the triggers there and the sticks. Like, it's been absolutely mint to get back here. And to have such an all-star team playing with us today. Just to give you guys an idea of the format of what we're playing, we're going to do Squad Conquest. We've got 3 maps for you tonight, 2 rounds a map: Province, Devastation, and Lofferton. So again, 3 of the most common competitive maps when it came to Battlefield 5, and a simple domination style format, guys. 2 rounds per map. Total tickets decide the winner of the map. And we will be playing 3 maps regardless of who wins map 1 and map 2. So you guys should be in for a mint set of games tonight. It's going to be awesome. I mean, out of the maps that we've got, Province, Devastation, Lofferton, Brett, what's the one you're looking forward to the most?
Just as far as like competitive enjoyment for me, probably gonna have to go with Devastation just because that's like a classic. I've seen so many good matches on that one. Lofton, man, I don't know. That was towards the tail end of my casting for Battlefield 5, and it had some good matches in it, but I'm not super familiar with it. And Province is kind of in the same vein for that one. But I mean, like you said, either way, we're going to be seeing some good matches. All of these players know exactly what they're going to be doing. What's really going to be interesting is how bad has our casting skills eroded over the time?
Hopefully not too much. Hopefully not too much. It's been a while. It's been a while. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Yes, it has. Yeah, guys. So definitely, bear with us a little bit, as we get kind of into the swing of things. I mean, like for me, I got to admit, I got a little bit of a cough. So if I just stop speaking for a little while, that's probably the reason why. But, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know if my voice is going to last throughout the whole 3 games, even if I was healthy, just because, man, I haven't talked that long in a long time.
To be fair, neither have I. Unless it's talking crap in some other game, it's literally, that's me at work and sat in front of a screen, coding away kind of thing. But burn round is over, guys. We're just loading up into the first map of tonight's game, and that's going to be Province. Now, this map, if you guys aren't familiar with it, lovely little countryside village there. Very laney. You've got 3 distinct lanes to the map. You've got top, mid, and low down by the river. And both teams are going to be trying to fight for control over those lanes. And with only 5 players per team, there's not much you can do. Someone tries to go sneaky, and around the map. And here we are off. We've got Team Chef in blue and Team Bush in red. So we're going to start to see how the map develops from the overview here, and then we'll jump down into the action. As you can see, we've got the likes of Jimmy and Berg fighting for this top route as the guys fight for the second. We're going to focus on this top here for just a second. This is going to be a massively important engagement to win. It's all about timing here. And with Jimmy quick on these sticks there with the FG absolutely dominating. And this is going to force that rotation gameplay. The guys are going to have to spawn back on. And he's absolutely dominating Brett in these early on engagements at the beginning.
Yes, he is. And this is going to be a very quick flip that we're going to be coming in. Still B as well is just now getting contested. So that's pretty impressive there, just seeing the fact that they haven't been able to get a hold of another flag. So we might be having some points really draining off here fast. But spawns are going to be coming back up here in the back. We're sticking on with Jimmy right now. And is he going to be able to get the kill? He can't. Does get taken down. So at the very least, we aren't going to be seeing a very quick 2-cap on the outside flags there, as team, I believe, Bush is going to be able to hold on. And they also got B.
Yeah, we're joining on with Sam here, who's now going to be trying to defend that B flag. through the cutaway arch from mid lane, and they're going to hopefully try and push out and pinch A right now. We've got teammates pushing in towards the fountain, getting hit from the spawn here. Alpha goes down. Sam can't quite seem to get the hits, but we do have that rotation from Ash moving around the right to try and cut that off. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be needed too much. We're jumping over to Switch here. He's defending a very, very, comfortable C position. They're going to start to try and get the pinch on that B flag. It's only home spawn and B, but you got to remember, Brett, we still got those random spawns down by the river and on the other side that really kind of added that next level that you had to think about as a player. If you try and push on the objective, the spawns are going to come up right behind you.
Absolutely, and this is a map that is very hard to hold, two flags for very long. Like, this is a very, very flippy map, and we can be seeing these flags just start to drain over and over and over again. But for now, it does look like Chef is doing a fantastic job of holding them and just containing them in this B site. We'll see if they're going to be able to come on out. Ash, right now, player that we are going to be following, is trying to make his way out over here towards this A site, and does get caught out. Nice shots coming in from Jimmy, as he will be able to stop any push from B.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got Team Chef really locking down this B flag. I mean, it's a very, very classic strat that we saw from these high-level Battlefield players when the game was at its height for the competitive side of things. Capture A, capture C, pin them down in B. They got their home spawn, which is, it's basically a death trap if you're running out, especially when you're talking about these mid to long ranges with the support class. And then down by the river, and it's not looking good for the guys of Team Bush right now, who are trying to push on to B. Jimmy's absolutely just slaying with the likes of Lawrence here on the C flag, and they're really struggling to push out. We're joining Evo, who's smoking up the push out from A from the home spawn. And it looks like Bush are going to try for that C retake, get a better position on the map. Hopefully it can go their way, but it's not looking too good right now.
Jimmy is just ripping them up at distance there. Stellar also going to be able to pick up one as well. And that's going to be 3 down, as finally Berg is going to be able to trade one out, but still not going to be enough, as we are going to be seeing that 3 cap holding at the moment. And we are just about to get into those double digits here for Team Bush. They have got to do something here pretty darn quick. Nice shots coming in from Ash, but is it going to be enough? And it's not, as they're just wrapping around the backside. These spawns are just absolutely killing them at the moment, and they've got to get out at some point. I mean, maybe just make a mad dash for the other side of the map, something, but they are just dying over and over and over in the spawn trap.
Well, I mean, we just saw Maxi go down. He was guarding that riverbed there from the spawn. That's going to open up B, and we're seeing a very, very quick wrap from Switch here. He's going to be hearing people to his left. He's going to try and take out Ash to the front. He manages to get that kill. Luckily, Stella was able to mop up Berg, who was just about to push into Bravo. Got one more left in here right now, and it looks like Evo is going to be the man with the plan right now. Solo on Bravo, taking out both Switch and Lawrence right now, and he's got 2 more left to take out. This is going to buy some breathing room for the rest of the team here, Brett. We're sucking everyone into Bravo. Hopefully Charlie can get turned in the next couple seconds here.
Well, they are still going to be able to take over onto this B section. Spawns are going to be coming in. Remember, guys, we do see some squad spawns coming on, but because of the way that the squads are, you're not going to have all 5 players in there, so there are going to be some team switching that's potentially going to be going on. So that's going to be, or not team switching, squad switching, sorry. So that's going to be, a little bit more difficult to kind of maneuver your players around the map than it was in previous Battlefield games. But the teams right now, they have been able to get control of that B site. Now, this is not impossible for the Team Bush to come out of this. I mean, they can definitely make a comeback, but it is going to be very hard to claw their way back. And really, they got to start getting some kills. Switch is doing a great job. Picks up 2 players there. Rubber doing a fantastic job. And we are going to be seeing that C flag also getting taken out. So Relentless starting to kind of balance back, but they've got to hold on with these next few waves going to be coming in.
Yeah, he's catching someone across the street. Lauren's getting absolutely ripped there as he pushes in. Relentless doing a good job securing that Charlie flag. They're now going to start to see the tickets burning in. But Jimmy just sat there waiting patiently. He knew what was up with that one. And it looks like he's going to be pushing in to try and challenge Charlie while the rest of his team try to push towards that Bravo. And again, they control that mid lane, Brett. They control that mid lane from A. That's going to give him a lot of movement over towards Bravo and Charlie. And again, the map is very clearly divided into those lanes. There's a few little cutaways in between them. But if you control the center, you can kind of control the flow and direction your team wants to push.
Absolutely. And, well, it also allows you, to pivot off of that as well. You can get those spawns in the middle of the map to kind of reinforce wherever you want to go. But one of the things, though, I don't think that we've seen a lot of, we're starting to see a little bit more, is the smoke. Now, we've seen some of it used here and there, but typically, back when I was casting this map, the middle was pretty much smoked out 100% of the time almost. And we just haven't seen that a whole lot. Also, we haven't seen a whole lot of explosives to open up this middle building to make it a little bit easier for the attackers. Now, I'm not sure if that's just rust on the players or if that's something strategic for the players to make sure that, well, yeah, we are going to be able to open it up to make it easier to attack, but that also makes it easier to, or harder to defend, so we don't want to do that just yet. And not going to be able to get the kill, but will be able to get the assist. Switch is going to be saved there at the last second. He might be able to save his buddy here with a revive as well. So really good jobs coming in here. We do see that A flag starting to get capped over once again. So this is starting to heat up a little bit more than what we saw previously.
Yeah, and again, Bush really kind of clawing this back just a little bit now. They've captured C. They're now pushing on to A. They finally found their feet with the rotation. They're trying to hold this mid street. Unfortunately, Relentless goes down towards Maxi. Maxi's going to be pushing towards that Charlie flag. Fairly uncontested at the moment. Two of his teammates now looking to try and dominate that mid street, give him a hand as they push up that long stairs, which is usually a death trap when it comes to sort of most of these games. You don't want to stick to those narrow corridors, especially when you've got the caliber of players that you've got right now. They'll destroy two of you instantly.
Okay, Jimmy is absolutely going off. He picked
yeah.
up 3. That's going to be 5 down. Jimmy picks up a 4th one here. Go over to Jimmy's view right now.
Yeah, we're there.
14 and 5, baby. He's absolutely lighting them up and just dominating the map right now. They're going to be able to get another 3 cap coming on in. 109 to 32, and they're making this look so damn good. This is a very hard thing to do. 2 players are going to be up in the back. Smokes are going to be coming on out. Jimmy taking some damage down to 37 health. I don't know if he has the health back for it, but he picks up 1, looking for number 2 as he's going to be hiding back behind the health kits, and he sees him up through the smokes. Gets some hip fire there, and I think his teammate might be able to just help out with the assist as they are going to be going back and forth, and more spawns are going to be coming up through. Jimmy, a one-man army here, seemingly not able to get taken down.
Both Lawrence goes down as well, and it just goes to show that the rust isn't completely off for some of these guys. The map positioning, the awareness, and, we've seen him shooting through the smoke there to try and get some of those kills. The footsteps are very, very, you can rely on them a lot in this game. They really gave you a good idea of where people are going to go. And especially when it came to sort of those top 5 teams, it was very common that people would usually go to the same places when pushing out of areas. So you could just pre-fire a little bit and you're bound to get some shots through this smoke here. But with that big push from Jimmy, that did open things up. They were capping A, they were on Bravo, but Bush really tying it up now. They finally found their feet, they've got the rhythm going, and it's not going too well for Team Chef right now. Jimmy's really carrying things on the killing front, being that sneaky person with Lawrence, moving around, going for the back cap. They're doing it again, and it looks like Samas is going to be pushing in to try and get that kill. Evo gets there beforehand. Stella, at some point, is macheting Evo in the face. Samas is just trying to find him and keep this cap contested.
Doing a decent job so far. We'll get the hip fire spray. Ends it with the headshot, it looks like. That's going to be reviving his teammates as well. So saving tickets, making sure that they are going to be able to be up and alive on this flag. Now, there are 3 people onto A, so we are going to have to pay attention to how much push is going to be coming into that B side of the map. And they got to be able to hold on to this. 10 tickets left. Now 9. We'll see if they are going to be able to drain these guys down. Remember, it's going to be the total tickets that are going to decide the winner of this map. So we need to be seeing Chef making sure that they are, Bush making sure that they are going to be able to drain the other team down as much as possible for round number 2. So it's going to make it a little bit easier to possibly get that map win.
And we see Relentless coming in with a huge set of kills there. Picks up a 3-piece, pushing into Bravo. That's going to be absolutely huge. As Brett said, they need to bleed as many tickets as possible. And everything is coming down towards Bravo right now. They've left Samas on A. We've seen Alpha moving in to cover the deaths from Relentless right now. Evo's doing a good job picking up some kills, healing Ash. And looks like they're going to start putting that pressure immediately on C. They need to get down as much as possible here. 6 to 77. It's going to be close, Brett. It's going to be close.
Oh, right now they're just trying to drain as much. If they could drain another 20, maybe 25 tickets or so, I think they're going to be in a good spot. Oh, 2 people flooding on out. That is going to be able to pick him up. It looks like Chief are going to be able to come on out. That's going to be 2 down, opening it up for a push. And we see Relentless holding on here. B is going to be flashing. A also going to be flashing as well. The rotations up to C might be coming on in. Again, all they need to do is make sure that they're holding the majority of these flags, but doesn't look like there's enough time. There's the gray out there. Nice headshot coming in, as we will be seeing Relentless still waking up, doing some work. 16 and 12. It took him a little bit of time, but he's finally coming on out to play.
Yeah, and both. It's nice to see that the guys are warming up a fair bit. It's not just one guy absolutely dominating since the beginning, but it's 67 to 2, 67 to 1, and with that, we are going to see Team Bush take this first round of the Jordy Invitational. We'll be moving on to round 2, hopefully very soon. But you know, it's a lot of work to do, and we saw Team Chef come out very, very slow at the beginning. Bush was very, very quick. We saw multiple times where Jimmy and Lawrence are moving around that map, taking that top lane, just flipping Alpha and Charlie, leaving the rest of the guys to sort of bounce between that mid lane and Bravo. And it worked out well for them. Bush kind of lost it towards the center as Chef were finding their feet. But they had a massive push towards the end. Everyone just got thrown at that Bravo flag. And they pulled it out.
Look, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but we got to talk about the fact that we were looking at like 90 tickets to around like 20 or so, or maybe it was 30. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that was a really big drain that we had there at the very end to make this a lot more manageable coming into round number 2. So kudos there for Bush to be able to make that happen. And this is going to be one of those times where it's going to look really difficult to do, but if we can have a 3-cap coming out on the flip side, then this is an absolutely achievable situation here for Bush in order to make this happen. And players have to warm up. I mean, we've talked about this in the past. Sometimes players in their very first game coming on in, they're just a little bit cold. It takes some people take a while in order to heat up. They've got to get those initial jitters out. And I'm not meaning that they're necessarily nervous, but when you get into that competitive mindset, it takes a little bit to kind of get that, I don't want to say normie, but to get kind of the pub feeling out of you and get back into that competitive mindset. But we're going to be going live right now with round number 2 here in map number 1, guys, and we'll see if they're going to be able to make this change happen. Oh, nice rocket there. Almost coming in and taking down Ash. Takes a little bit of damage there, but we'll be able to stay up and alive as this fight for B is going to be heating on up.
Yeah, and it's that 3-man push going in. We're seeing Bush with that first early on kill. It's going to be huge. They're going to start to cap that Bravo flag quite nicely. It's exactly what they need. They need to start putting this pressure on Chef. They really need to do it from the early on. Put them in their places right there. Evo, Jimmy, and Stella just absolutely cleaning up. And again, it's just been a nice sort of good opening for Team Chef right now. They're cleaning up A. We've got Lawrence sitting tight. Jimmy's going down. He's just basically going to have to just play nuisance right now. He heard the footsteps. He's able to rip Berg right there as the medic pops himself a cheeky little heals. He's got guys pushing out of the church. Gets a hit Marcus, gets the kill on Relentless. And this man is just holding his ground right now. If he can get the cap on Alpha, we've got Jimmy spawning up on him. That would be great. And a nice clean start for Chef, even though they lost that initial engagement on Bravo.
Oh, absolutely. And this is going to give them that 2-point advantage, 2-flag advantage. They're going to start burning those tickets down. Nice kills are going to be coming on in once again as Rubber picking up 2. He's going to be able to defend that flag for the time being, as we do have Evo looking at his down teammates. We'll be able to pick him up. That's going to be some revives coming on in as well. And, oh, he does get taken down by Stellar through the smokes as well. This is rough here for these guys, but we will be seeing the reset. This is still early on. I mean, what 140 tickets, something like that. So it's going to be plenty of tickets here for these guys in order to make this combat. They have about, 65 or so tickets, maybe 60 tickets.
67. They need to win by 68. And
Yeah.
you know, it's a tall ask, especially at this level of game. Like
Nice.
one bad rotation can really hurt your score. It can set you back 50, 60 tickets just from a one bad rotation. So we really need to see a clean game from Chef right now.
Right now, Stellar is going to be cleaning it up here in the bottom side of the map. We do see a couple of blue kill feeds coming on through, so that's going to be looking good here for these boys. But B and C still being held on strong as Ash trying to find that angle to go on through. Another thing that I want to mention here too, and this is something that I actually just noticed, is that we do have the attrition system in for this particular game, which means that we have limited ammo and we have limited health as well. You don't heal up from low percentage numbers all the way up to 100 without a health pack. So every single time these guys engage with another team or with an opposite teammate, that means that they are going to be losing a little bit more health each engagement and not up to 100% unless they're next to a health kit or they have a medic. So having those different roles in here really does kind of shake things up, and it makes prolonged fights a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And it's something that I think that kind of do miss a fair bit, is it really forced that the roles within the teams. You had to have those medics. Your medics had to be on point. And while it's the most aggressive class of them all, your team really does rely on them to sustain in the fight. And not only that, the quick revive was huge. Being able to get that quick res off made things very, very nice, and it really impacted things as you went out throughout the game.
Absolutely. Ash looking good here. We'll be able to pick up one inside the room. He notices there's another player right on the other side. Love the movement coming in here as he takes us out Max. That was beautiful. Gets the hit markers, positions himself on the ground. The other player had no clue whatsoever. Love it coming out from him.
We see Rubber trying to push it out, but Jimmy jumping out of the bush there. Absolutely slaying. We've seen Evo now looking to make a move on Alpha. We've seen Berg going down. He's putting shots through this smoke, and he's just going to have to fall back here. He doesn't know how many people are there. He knows there's been some wipes across the map. Alpha is being very quickly taken, and Stella sliding around the corner there is just going to continue his merry way up towards Bravos, holding that middle center of the point, and now he's going to be pushing in. He knows that there's a push towards Charlie. Nice and easy to push in towards Bravo. He now knows there's two people on that cap flag, and he's just going to have to sit and wait to see what happens. Easily able to take out Sam around the corner there, grab some ammo on the way, and sets up for the defense. We started to see guys spawn on that riverbed, and this is what I was talking about earlier. It's the spawns can screw you a little bit, especially on this flag.
Oh, they absolutely can. But then again, that's Battlefield, right? When doesn't the spawn screw you over at some point in time? But yeah, we do have some really good... Oh, nice footwork coming in once again to spot him out. Gets the headshot, looks for number 2, and he finds it! Oh my God, Stellar. I love the play coming out for him. 11 and 6. He's also starting to heat up as well. And these guys, again, they just have to waste the time here. They don't have to be the ones to win the round. They just got to drag these tickets down. And right now they're looking in a perfect position because they do have that 2 flag cap advantage. 95 tickets here remain. And if you look at it, 67, it's actually less than that. We're looking at less than 20 tickets in order to have Bush win in map number 1.
Yeah, and again, Bush's goal here isn't to win this map outright 0 tickets. They just have to push Team Chef below that 68 mark. If Team Chef can't retain 68 tickets, they're going to end up losing this first map.
Well, let's hope that they are going to be able to get a little bit closer. We would like to see a nice close game, but we have 2 more maps after this, so plenty of nice shots there from Jimmy once again. Looking for 2, but can't quite find it. Does get taken down. Sam actually doing a fantastic job. He picked up 3 there in that exchange. Bird's going to be going for number 4, so that opens it up for that C cap. And again, these guys, they seem to be late bloomers. They come in here at the last second in order to make some waves, but they've got a lot to make up here. 123 tickets to have this win coming on through, and that's going to be really, really rough for these boys, but we'll see if they are going to be able to stay on up. Sam does get taken down. That means that his buddy that he just revived also gets picked up. And now we do have some rotations coming through the middle of the map. This could be a 3 cap here towards the end of this match.
Yeah, Bush, although they had that really, really strong start, We've seen Jimmy, who I was going to mention before, he was popping off and switched to the Lewis gun. You know, a lot more ammo, a lot more accurate. Doesn't hit as hard as that FG that he was using before, but we've seen what this monster can do, and especially if you give him the range to do it, the guy is an animal. Picks up one, picks up a second, switches round, sees the guys coming from the spawn way, just wait for that head to peek up, gets 2 shots, hits for 86, and hopefully we can see Lawrence finishing that kill up. He's going to hopefully maybe go for that quick res, fingers crossed. Just keeping the suppression in, hits for 43 as well. It's bound to be a medic over there. There's not much he can do. No grenades left. He's got some dynamite. Doubt he's going to use it. Tries to win the fight, and that he does. And we're starting to see Jimmy back up as well.
These guys are just looking so damn good. And like you said, you know, what Jimmy's using right now, that's just an absolute laser beam at distance. I know, I remember on Rotterdam, that gun is so annoying to have to play against. So he is definitely using it to its fullest advantage, which I had forgotten how long some of these sightlines were on this particular map. You know, most of the time your focus is down there on that B side of the map, which is so close. So you typically do see more of your subs or your ARs over in that section of the map. Not too many of your LMGs, but there really are quite a few places that we can kind of see those LMGs stretch their legs as we see some sub action from Sam doing some work at that distance. Picks up number 2, and he will be able to get the cap here onto A. His teams are going to be able to come on through. We do have C, I believe, being capped as well. Being capped by the other team. So a bit of a trade on the flags, but with that reinforcement coming in to that B flag, they might be able to get a really quick cap.
And now all the fight is on Bravo. We're seeing Charlie, Alpha being secured by the respective teams. Stella and Cohen now defending that Bravo flag and just being absolutely mullered right now. Samas not looking up the stairs. Stella jumping out on him. He's going to try and hold that top end. Grenades are going out. Unfortunately, no hit markers or anything as Evo picked up 2 up there. He's trying to get the reses off. He needs all the help he can get right now.
Oh, yes, he does. Stellar is going to be just in through here hunting. You can see there on the top part of your map just about how many players are on the flag. He spots out one. He's going to have to duck around. His teammates are going to be able to come on through, and this is just hide and seek right now. And right now, it is going to be Stellar able to seek and get the kill. That's going to be all players down on B, and we have a full takeover for Chef. Beautiful job there for these boys, as now they are going to be flooding up towards that A flag. Jimmy is already up at the top lane. He's going to make sure there is nobody that's going to be able to leak out.
Yeah, we're starting to see Chef really try and push it on now. They secured that Bravo flag. They're now trying to close the gap onto Alpha. We're seeing Rubber here switching to the FG and just putting fire down range, keeping guys suppressed. And again, the enemy suppressed points are really, really important information to get, especially when you can't see through a lot of these bushes and a lot of this smoke. Just spraying in an area, getting points, it's going to help you identify which location these guys are. And, you know, we're starting to see the quick rotations moving in. You shoot someone at the bush, you know they're going to move around towards the church and come around the back here. And with that, Samas is going down. We're going to start to see Rubber going to be moving through the church now. Running a bit low on ammo, pushes in, gets caught by Evo in the reload. And looks like the fight is now back onto Bravo with Stella once again looking to defend.
Darn those reload times. They are so annoying sometimes. It is so crazy the moments that we have at some points in time in this game where it's just like a second or two later or a second or two earlier and it would have gone that player's way. But that is just how competitive goes, as we see Stellar trying once again to skate around the map. He does eventually go down, as we are going to be seeing that B flag starting to light up, and we'll be getting contested.
Yeah, and it looks like we start to see Bush take control of that Bravo flag. They need to hold these next 2 flags for the next 28 tickets here. If they can hold for 28 tickets, they'll be in for the money with this first map, and we can go to round 2 in a good position. But, I mean, Chef aren't making it easy for them. They're already rotating onto A. They're playing that rotation game. Some people hate it, some people love it, but I'll tell you what, it's what wins you the maps.
You see A starting to switch on over. It is going to be, oh, nice little back and forth there. Relentless does get taken down as we do see A now completely cleared. Smokes are going to be out, and this is kind of what I thought we were going to be seeing a lot more smoke action on these points than what we did at the very start of the match. But like I said, these teams starting to get back into the swing of things. It's been a little while since we've had some competitive Battlefield 5, and they are certainly doing a decent job here once again. So we do have that 2 flag bleed in the favor of Chef. There's now 14 tickets left here for Bush in order to make something happen here. 89 now for Chef as well. And again, I just love watching the movement here coming out from these guys, slipping, dipping, diving, and dodging. Not going to be helping him out there as he does end up going down. And yeah, so these players really doing a good job so far. And I think this is going to be in the bag right now, as we are going to be seeing Chef starting to clean this up.
Yeah, Maxi and Stella just absolutely obliterated the boys on B here. And with that clean, it's going to leave 11 tickets left on the clock for Bush. And again, it's 10 now to 81. They still needed to rip another 12 tickets off of the Chef side. It's just going to take one more flip of that rotation. And we're just going to jump up and see how the players are splitting. And again, the fight is all on this Bravo. Alpha, not even a thought right now for Team Bush. It's grab Bravo, hold Charlie, bleed those 12 tickets, and let's just get this map out of the way and done.
Now, real quick, bring up the scoreboard if you don't mind. I want to see how these teams are actually doing in terms of their kills. We got Alpha, Evo going 20 and 11 there, 22 and 15 for Stella. They are lighting it up. Jimmy taking a little bit of a break here. He's like, you know what, I showed off in the first map. We'll go ahead and chill out here in the second round. But looking fantastic for those KDs for both of those players on top. And one of the things that I do like about Battlefield games is that it doesn't necessarily need to have one player that just pops on off. Obviously, we do have some that are, but you can have some relatively even scores across the board and really show some dominance that we've seen throughout this round. And I really like that about this particular game.
Yeah, and again, it's like we've seen this before in the last BF4 Season 4. Again, that was absolutely meant a different style of game, but we saw players who weren't necessarily scoring high on the scoreboard were absolutely making the difference when it came to winning the maps and carrying their teams through. It's all well and good being able to slay, but you can only do that when you've got the support of your team. And if the rest of the team isn't doing anything, those kills are meaning nothing right now.
Meaning nothing at all. And we are just about to wrap this up. 2 tickets are left as Bush holding on for dear life. We do see a burn over onto that B side. C just about to get capped. And that is going to be it here onto that B side, as it's fully going to be in the control of Chef. But look at that, a little bit of life here onto that C side of the map. Rotations are going to be coming on in. They're like, okay, you can have C. We'll go ahead. We'll go back over here to this A side, and that will be that. So congratulations there. That is going to be Chef coming out victorious in both rounds, I believe. It was 67
we saw Bush there, I believe, at 67 in that first round. Chef then won the second at 59. So Bush are going to come out top for round for map 1, I believe. I'm just confirming that again with the admin guys in the back. But what a display we saw from both of those teams, Brett. I mean,
Absolutely.
who are the standout guys from you?
I mean, standout for round number 1 was definitely Jimmy. I mean, that guy had some really, really good gunplay skills going back and forth. I loved the foot play that we saw coming out from Stellar as well. That was something to watch throughout the whole game. But, you know, just because Jimmy was getting so much hate there, I'm going to give it to him there in that map. I like Jimmy for that one. He was doing fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in agreement with you. It's from the beginning all the way through to the end. There was no slow ramp up. There was no just shaking the rust off. It was just domination from the beginning. I don't think there was a single engagement where, you know, he was in a 1v2 and you felt that his confidence was shaken. It was, oh, Jimmy's in 1v2. Where's the third person going to come in and kill him? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that it was going to be Chef who won both of those rounds, which means that they are going to be winning that map by over 100 tickets. And now we're going to be moving on to Devastation, which, in my opinion, like I said before, I really enjoy this map. I think that this map it's just, as far as close quarters goes, it's one of the best one that is out there at the moment for this particular game. Obviously, they are not making maps for it anymore, but out of the pool, this was one of my favorites to always watch for this particular game mode. And we'll see if we're going to be seeing some action up here. Church, always a fun one to watch, as we are going to be getting started, I believe, here for this particular round. Or is this going to be a burn round?
No, this is going to be the full-on round now that the teams are settled. I believe we are good to rock and roll. All the teams are in, all the players in the correct teams. And we're going to start off again with Jimmy opening on that long flank. Berg not standing a chance because of that Lewis gun, especially at that range. You know, you can just keep that beam on point for as long as you need to.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, coming on through. That's going to be another kill coming in for Jimmy. He's up to 2. Looking for 3. He does get at least 1 shot in on the head. So, massive damage going in towards that enemy player. But RubberSwitch is going to be coming on through with that teammates. They are absolutely just getting murdered. Evo picking up 2. Is he going to be able to stay alive? Fantastic job on him. That's 3 down onto that B flag. I'm not sure what, if he was out of ammo or what, but Evo massacred 2 players there with the revolver and 1 with his AR. Fantastic job holding on to this point, as they now are going to be able to push them back out of the church slowly but surely now that they have this control.
Yeah, and again, it's absolutely huge, these opening engagements. But with Team Bush grabbing the church, they're now going to hopefully be setting up to watch Charlie. And again, this map never really came down to the triple caps that you could get. The map is just so long. It's not like Province where you can bounce between flags quite easy. It's a big travel time, and with only 5 players, it's a lot of openings to cover, especially on Bravo flag. You have to commit a fair bit to defend it. So you typically see that you capture your home flag, and then most of the fighting is over Bravo.
As Chef is going to be able to make their way back onto that B side. They did get the cap, looking good. Stellar with the headshot as well. And we'll see if he's going to be able to get his teammate up. Doesn't really matter, though, as he is going to be in this back and forth, making sure that he does have to stay alive at the very least and provide those spawns for his teammates. But we need to be seeing the push coming in for Bush. Maybe a rotation coming in for that gimme flag on the other side of the map. But we do have that B flag starting to go on down. And I love the fact that there are so many different angles and rotations that we can have on this B flag. You notice that, well, Bush, they're having to watch the back as well as the front coming in onto this B site. They're not really safe in any particular way unless they start getting at least 1, maybe 2 kills down to have that body count advantage onto B. And they are going to be able to win it for now. 4 players are going to be going down right now for Chef. Bush looking good. They get the cap on B, and we'll see if they're going to be able to solidify this hold.
Yeah, we see Ash there showing that Jimmy's not the only one who can beam with the Lewis gun right now, and he's looking straight at Charlie. And this is what I was talking about earlier, Brett.
Oh.
Look at the distances you have to walk in this map, and the Lewis gun is a perfect example of what you need to do as your support player in this game mode.
But one of the things that I do like about this map that we didn't mention before is that if the other team gets too aggressive onto the gimme flag, it does leave it open for an opportunity for somebody to squeak on by, which means that you can have some squad bombs coming in the back side of the map, and you can basically flip that map. So you do have to be careful about getting too aggressive, and I think that's something that we're seeing right now. So C flag is getting burned for Bush, but also B is getting contested. So you have to be careful when you get too fast, too soon, and you're not making sure that you're getting those bodies down. So you do see that fight happening over there onto the A flag. It is now a 1v2 as Berg, very low on health, is going to have to make it happen. He does pick up 1 on the Stellar, looking for that second one. Does he get the help? He goes for the rocket. Oh. It's not going to be able to connect, and the revolver can't make it happen either. And that is going to be a wipe there onto the side. We do see Bush able to hold on to those 2 gimme flags, but for now, Chef, they do have that presence. They have the spawns, and this is going to be an awkward position, but definitely a doable one.
Yeah, they have got Charlie, so they can start that pinch on Bravo. There's 3 on A, meaning there's only going to be around 2 on Bravo. So as long as your 2 guys can start contesting this, and we can get the 3 push onto B, which I believe is happening right now with the likes of Evo putting shots up towards the organs there, and it looks like we're going to start to see a quick flip in the flags, but you know, they're pushing off a point. He's getting pinched. The guys in Alpha won their fight. And Evo's in a really bad spot right now.
Oh, they are. They are in a bad spot. Jimmy and Stellar both picking up 2 players. That is going to be fantastic positioning for them. They hold on to that center part of the map. They are going to be able to start that bleed. And here's the crazy thing, right? This map is even. It's 120 to 120, basically. We got 3 tickets separating these 2 teams. It is fantastic to watch it come down to the wire. But something's going to have to give eventually. And right now, I think we're seeing a fantastic job coming out from Chef to make sure that they're holding on to these 2 flags. We do have Bush now coming into A to try and maybe split that attention a little bit, make sure that they are going to be able to get maybe that 2 flag cap, shift those players back over to C, because really B flag is where it's at. B flag is where it is most important because that's the pivot point in this map.
Yeah, and if you can grab B, it's quite easy to bounce between some of those Alpha and Charlie flags.
Absolutely.
But again, with 5 players, the most you can really commit to the defense there is 2. You really need those 3 players on that rotation and that attack, especially on a map like this with the distance that you have to cover. And it really is a slog. And we're noticing that on the scoreboard as well, compared to the last map where, you know, it was a hop, skip, and a jump away. And you see big distances in tickets from sort of 30, 40 at a time. Now it's, you know, down to that 10, 15.
Absolutely. Well, we do see A just burning down so fast. And right now, what I would like to see is for them, if we see any deaths happening onto that C flag, just go ahead, give it up, spawn on your players back over onto A, and make that push into B. Do a solid 5-man push as much as possible onto that B flag and push them out towards their own gimme, right? Get them on that one side of the map so you don't have to worry about getting flanked, and you can make sure that the angles are a little bit more in your favor. We still are going to be seeing a fight going back and forth over onto the A flag. That's going to be Sam going down here as we do have that A flag still being contested ever so much.
Yeah, and we see Lawrence unfortunately goes down, but the fight is now back on Bravo, where we're seeing Rubber and Stella start to re-engage. They're able to wipe off Evo and Ash. They're capping that Bravo flag. They finally have the control again over that Bravo. It was in red hands for sort of a little while here. We just see the whole team appear in front of Rubber as they now start to close down those lanes. We're seeing a lot of people moving towards the left here, 2-man push. We saw someone move over towards the right, going to be holding off that little flank. And now it's just a push for Alpha, try and hold the front of the church and hope that, you know, your boys can do their jobs.
Well, we need to see some chip damage coming from Stellar. He is going to be able to pick up 1. His teammate did come in from the back. Nice job! Picks up 2 with the headshot. That's going to clear out that flank of the map. Immediately needs to rotate back on the inside. We're going to be seeing some spawns coming in as well to make sure that they're going to reinforce this middle section of the map. That was a beautiful job with that flank coming in from Lawrence as well to kind of take some attention away, do some chip damage. Beautiful job there coming from that team. And now it's all about cleanup duty, making sure that they are going to be able to get these last few players and that there are no leaks.
And this guy just doesn't stop going. You know, they're bouncing from left to right. They're now playing towards the Charlie flag side of things. We've got a runner moving towards, and then Stella's going to try and hunt him down. Lawrence, unfortunately, goes down as well. And the thing, they need to tidy this up as quick as possible. The advantage they just had is being lost. We've seen 3 men pushing in. One's going to be holding Stella off. Maxi tries to push out, but he's going to end up getting burnt a fair bit. And it's going to be up to Stella, who I think is just in his Bravo defense.
Oh, Evo picked up 2. He does get taken down, but Berg also getting another. Unfortunately, all of that gain that they just made here for Bush in order to get those kills is kind of being taken away. They are going to be able to get control of B, though, so that is looking up, and they need to make sure that they do clean that out. What I'm really going to be curious about here, so we got about 25 tickets or so. I think that is going to be the advantage right now of Chef. This is kind of where we saw the separation really showing in that last match. Are we going to be seeing that continue, or are we going to be having that kind of, pulling it back at the last second than we did in map number 1 to make it a more even game? I do think that we are seeing a much better Bush team than we were previously. So this map is definitely looking a lot better.
I mean, because a lot of the fights in Devastation get quite isolated, you typically notice that if you can hold or you can get that retake, the rotation isn't as punishing. Whereas on Province, you know, you have to commit a fair bit. The fights tend to drag on a little bit longer, especially in those buildings. So you tend to notice like 20, 30 tickets ends up going almost like that. Here, you see the flags end up, you know, getting taken and contested a fair bit longer. The flags themselves are just naturally bigger. A lot of places for people to hide and contest. And, you know, you have to maintain full control of these flags to start ticking these guys down. The moment your flag starts getting contested, it ends up ruining you a little bit.
Well, right now, we do see a flag about to be contested. Berg, he might be waiting for some spawns to come in. He hasn't quite gotten onto the flag cap just yet. Oh, nice shots from a distance. They know he's back here now. The cap is going to be coming on through. Now, what's going to be the response coming in for Chef? Are they going to go ahead and spawn some players back? They are. 2 players rotating all the way back to C. They're going to try and clean this up as fast as possible. And we do have, I think, a 2-on-2 about to happen on Charlie.
Yeah, we're seeing Evo on the kill feed there, picking up 2 Stellar. Switch not looking too good. Berg picking up Jimmy as well. Maxi is tidying things up. We're going to stay on Lawrence here to try to push in. We're going to stay on Lawrence not for too long. Berg is going to now be covering in this 1v1 over Charlie. He needs to defend this. This is Chef's natural spawn right now. And the longer he can tie guys up in this useless no man's land, the better, really.
Can you go to the overview just real quick, just so that we can see like the map overview? Yeah, so we do have a big push happening over onto A at the same time. I like that. So we have a flood coming into A, and oh, that's even better. I love this. We got mind games going on. So we have 2 rotations. We have one coming in from Chef. They're going to go over to A and take that. But at the same time, we have a rotation coming in from Bush to go into that B flag. So while they're holding on C with a 2-on-2, which is a relatively strong position, they're also grabbing B. The spawn should be coming in onto Relentless. There they are. And that is going to help them out to take a 2 flag advantage to keep this ticket advantage, or to take the bleed in their favor.
And like I said, the mind games are absolutely huge. They force that Chef team to commit onto Alpha, draw everyone in, and then a quick respawn. Hey, boys, we're on B. We don't really care about it too much, but Relentless now moving to push the fight over to the front of that church. Yeah, I've always been an advocate if you're going to hold these flags, don't try and fight on them, try and fight around them. It just buys your boys just a couple more seconds if you have to get a respawn in, get a res in, and then you can fight for the flag when it comes to the Alamo position there. You know? I'm
not sure I agree with Relentless, though, on pushing out going towards A. I really would have liked to have seen him hold that B side a little bit better, a little bit longer. They are getting so low on tickets that they can't kind of allow some of this to go back and forth. But what they're doing is they're muddying their lines, right? They're allowing a lot more players in on their flanks. It's going to be a little bit harder as a team fight to kind of progress throughout the middle of the map. But right now we do see Evo trying to go back and forth. He does have the advantage of having a med, so he will be able to keep himself healed up. But it's not enough as he goes down by Stellar. That ZK really showing its prowess there in that gunfight back and forth. And they have completely lost the center of the map. A flag is going down in favor of Relentless, but it's going to be very hard, as we said again, to reinforce those 2 opposite end flags over and over. It really leaves your teammates kind of hanging there. Again, I think that B would have been a much better choice for Relentless to stay on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thought process is we need to take A. It's unnatural. It's probably going to be better for us. But if I'm honest, I don't think it is. I would sooner have a free spawn right outside that Charlie flag if other enemies holding it. It means that you can constantly feed one guy in to draw 2, leaving the rest of your guys kind of free reign around the map. And we're seeing that right now, you know?
Yeah, I like this.
Chef has the natural spawn on Charlie. You got Lawrence here drawing 2 guys in constantly. So the rest of the fight for your side it's a nice 4v3. And what more could you ask for, honestly?
Well, the nice thing is that you really don't have to worry about somebody coming in behind you in this situation. So we do see Stellar. He is going to be gearing up for attack. Nice double teaming on that player. will be able to get the kill. And he is going to be able to clean this up. Looking for two, can't quite get it. He does get taken down. Where's his teammate at? Did he get taken down as well? It looks like that may have been the case, but it doesn't matter. They still are going to be able to holding the dominant position onto that B side. 58 tickets now to 30, 28 separating these two teams in round number 1. This is the closest one that we have seen yet, and it is going to get even closer here the longer we have Bush holding on to this 2 flag cap.
Yeah, but we start to see Chef now retake Charlie. Bush had to commit those extra numbers towards Bravo if they wanted to get the kills. Jimmy getting some massive damage in as this guy starts running across from Bravo to Alpha. But again, he's not able to finish off those kills. He's now going to have to really rely on his teammates to try and mop those up. To try and find one of those guys that was on there. I know I just switched away from poor Lawrence not having a good time. But Switch really pushing up, getting that res. This Charlie cap is going to be huge if they can get it right now. As Switch pushes through the smoke, the high ground is pretty dominant and oppressing as you're trying to push onto the flag. As you see Maxi getting a big kill. Is he going to try and get the second there? And I think he's able to get the reds, pushing up. And it looks like they've now finally, after pretty much half the game, Brett, they're going to be retaking Charlie now.
Yeah, go to your overview if you don't mind real quick. I want to see if they've cleared out that A side of the map. They have not. So they're going to be fighting on 2 different sections of the map right now. A is going to be getting a 2-man spawn coming in for Chef, which means that they are going to be able to pop in potentially here and take that out. But I like what we're seeing coming out from Bush. They know that that is going to be some sneaky people staying around, and they will be able to take out one. And they're not done yet. They know, okay, there's probably some more spawns. We do see some trades coming on through, but it's okay. We still have some players that are going to be back there to help out on that A side, and they still have this 2 flag advantage. I love this coming out from them. A little bit of pressure coming in onto C. Bush playing this out perfectly as they are going to be able to even up the score and I think take the lead in just a second.
Yeah, we're now seeing sort of 26-22. The tickets really narrowing compared to map 1 here, Brett. As Berg now starts to trap these guys as long and tie them up as long as he can. Charlie, he needs to give himself sort of the room and his team the room to push up towards Bravo, and he did that perfectly. You know, keeping 4 guys stuck on Charlie long enough for the people to set up. We've seen Ash with that Lewis gun on the left-hand side there, causing problems as the big fight in the center really starts to open up.
And they have them absolutely cornered here, coming in from one direction, but can they hold on? That is going to be the question. It is going to be a lot of push coming through for these teams. They're going to be well coordinated, and it's going to be a lot of damage all at once. But if they can hold on here, they can take this round. 12 tickets are now going to be left, and right now the kill feed is favoring Bush.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen 3 different attacks now from the Chef guys. 1 through the center, twice through the right-hand side, and every single time it's been shut down. Chef just can't seem to crack this nut of this church right now. Bravo is holding, but we see a big push through the center right now, and it's not going too well for them as Chef dying quicker than I can click on them to spectate for you guys. And
this is going to be it. That is it. That is it. We do see Bush with their win. 21 tickets. First round that we have seen them pick up. Very close game. And I have to say, these guys did a fantastic job of keeping their heads. You know, we saw that they were down 25, 30 tickets there at one point, but they were able to get that flip coming on through, and they were able to make sure that they did get that 2 flag advantage, playing from a disadvantage in some ways with that CA split, which is not very ideal, but they were able to make it happen there in the end. Fantastic job coming out from them. We saw some really good kills coming out as well. Relentless, you know, hey, I gotta say, he is the player. I am the caster, so he saw something there, playing really, really well, did some moves that maybe I didn't agree with, but absolutely worked out in the end. And Berg, I also have to say, played that C flag impeccably. I mean, the guy was able to get up onto that high ground. He was so tough to get out of that position. He was able to take down 1, 2 players, and at the very least, he was able to slow them down to allow more reinforcements to come in onto C. And that right there, I think, is something that is really it's really undervalued sometimes, is just you don't necessarily have to win the fight, but you got to slow the fights down to allow your teammates to come in and help. And that's exactly what they were doing in that game.
And this is what I was talking about before. It's the biggest fights, in my opinion, aren't, you don't want to hold off on the flag. Holding off on the flags, especially on such a large map like Devastation, has to be sort of the last resort right there. Slowing guys down on the way to their flag not only has to force them to respawn and regroup and reposition, but it gives your team the time to react to that information, count the numbers of those players, and move towards those flags. And we saw Ash, 3 guys moving left, and he rotated left, set up with that Lewis gun, and was able to hold 2 pushes, and it was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When you can hold off multiple pushes like that, it gives your team so many options. It gives them so much leeway and to make mistakes of their own, but not really have them affect the game so much. So yeah, those moments really do make a huge difference. And we are going to be seeing the opening fights here onto that B side, as it will be Chef with that 2 flag cap right from the start.
And again, massive push. We're sticking on Samus here as he looks to move in. Smoke's covering him, but the rest of his team have got it covered. And although they lost that initial engagement around the left, we're now starting to see them gain control of the center. They're getting a good pinch off, and this is absolutely killing the guys from Chef right now. Bush now looking to clean this flank up, push on, and we're just going to switch to the overview here because we're starting to see Jimmy moving around the flank. And I think he's been tagged once or twice, but the fight for the center is all a go right now. It's flicked early on from Chef. Bush were holding it and then get contested, and it was a bit rough.
But Jimmy is in a good position there to get a nice pinch. But what I like even better is the fact that we have Bush following it up with 2 players of their own. They know, hey, we left an opportunity for some players to kind of leak on out and go over towards the C flag. Let's go ahead and have these 2 guys spawn back and just fill out those areas and make sure that we're cleaning that up. And they did. And that was a fantastic job on their part. But switching it around, we got Jimmy and Rubber both picking up players. That's going to be 3 down here for Bush, as it is going to open it up for a potential push onto that B site.
And Jimmy's little ears were tickling just then as he heard the guys moving in towards Bravo. He knows the flag's being contested. And, he's can be quick. He can bounce around. He can slide around. But Jimmy's better as a static player, holding these really weird, filthy angles. And it looks like he's now going to have to be the main guy to push into Bravo. He's probably going to take that high ground, especially with the gun that he's got. It's going to be very, very oppressive for a lot of these guys. And especially as they're starting to rotate back out, he's going to allow the rest of his team to gain that ground, push forward as he starts to push their heads down.
Evo has something else to say. He picks up 2 there in that middle section of the map. And yeah, we do have a fight over here onto that C flag. Not going to be favoring Chef, as that's going to be Berg picking him up once again. And that's going to clear that out. But 4 players are going to be on B, with only 1 here for Bush in order to try and make that defense happen. 2 players should be spawning in here relatively soon. But, as we said before, it is okay to drop a few tickets because they don't have to win by, really they only have to drag them down to 0 in this instance, or below that 21 ticket mark. That's really the only thing that they need to do. So they have some leeway to make some mistakes, and they will have plenty of time to make up that ground. And with headshots like that from a distance, Sam, you're going to be making some plays like that. That is going to make it easy peasy pushing it in onto that B site.
Yeah, and he's got Ash up the top there, covering him. And Ash was able to take out Lawrence, who's moving around that left-hand side. That's going to be an absolutely huge kill. They're just wrapping around to make sure that all of those players are out. Though I would have liked to see Sam push onto the flag slightly earlier, get the contest off, and try and lock down the spawns. Ash goes down, Lawrence goes down. Just Sam back on the flag, though he has got some teammates now moving up from Charlie. But it's not looking good for Bush. In a very dangerous position of a triple right now, and there's only so much Sam can do on his own.
Well, that is going to be a cleanup. I think that's a full squad wipe, or pretty darn close to it there. Spawns are going to be coming back through. Berg is still alive on B, but they know it. They see that the contention is there, and that is going to be letting them basically know, hey, we need to hunt around here and try and find these last couple of players. Berg, not in the best place. I don't think he has a med pack to heal him back up, so he is going to be very low on health for any engagements, and yeah, Stellar is going to be able to clean it up. So good job so far coming in from Chef, as they will be able to start taking a relatively decent lead considering how close that last map was. 122 to 116, and it's going to start going in their favor pretty darn quickly unless we see Bush doing something pretty drastic.
I mean, what we've seen here is Chef's response to these big pushes where they're just getting absolutely dominated off of the flags. Their retakes have been absolutely awesome. You know, they've left one guy, they pulled one guy out, and they've gone for that retake, but their cleanup on those flags has kind of hurt them for the third time in the row now. We've just seen Relentless come in, absolutely rip Stellar in the back, and Berg is now going to try and make his way and hold that ground towards Charlie. The team has got Alpha. We are just going to pull back out of here as we start to see Evo was able to make his way through, grab that Alpha flag, and now it's a 1v2 as Sam goes down.
That it is, and we do see rotations happening on both sides of the map, so these teams very good at making sure that they are going to be able to be on top of every single play that's happening. They realize, hey, this is about movement and getting to that other flag as quickly as possible, and so far it does look like 2 flags are going to be getting contested. I have no clue where Relentless got hit from there, but Stellar is going to be able to take him down, and that will mean that C flag going into the favor of Chef. A is also going into the favor of Chef. Is this a 3 cap in just a few seconds? It could well possibly be.
I think you're just a little bit too hopeful there. Alpha was able to get tidied up quite nicely by the guys from Bush, and although the fight on Charlie hasn't gone their way, it's now going to allow them to commit everything that they can towards Bravo. And we're going to be jumping on to Jimmy here, who's going to hopefully try and set up for that defense. He's watching that right flank with Maxi. Maybe it would have been better if he was keeping his eyes down the center to begin with, but he's able to pick up Evo, sees a second, can't quite get the kill in, but Maxi's looking to rotate around the left. Seeing Jimmy switch to that right-hand side is probably a lot more favorable with the engagement on the right-hand side, with the gun he's using. And the rest of the team is now pushed into Bravo.
I like this fight happening over here onto the flank. Oh no, Ash will be able to take him down, and hey, that's a laser beam versus a cannon, right? And the laser beam is going to be able to come out on top. He was just able to kind of narrowly take him out in that position. Beautiful job there. That means that B flags start to go on down. Ash still doing some damage. 8 and 5 here. He hasn't been heating up so much in this round, but we'll be able to get some really key kills. It's going to open this up, and that will be 3 down total coming in here for Chef. But Bush looking pretty good. That's going to be a very fast cap on B, actually. And it's going to be all about where are these next kills going to be coming from. Are they going to be able to get them on B, or are we going to be seeing some players able to eke out and get to that flank?
Yeah, we're starting to see Evo now is seeing an absolute tidal wave of players running towards him. It's going to try and beat up to Ash, who's going to try and hold back. He's going to stay off of the flag here so it doesn't pop that contest at the top. He's got players literally walking above him, but these boys know the game. These guys know what's up, and we're going to see Rubber now hopefully holding this right hand side as some of these Bush players look to move up, but a little too late. Stellar caught Relentless's eye just there, and that's going to be a nice clean as they start to push towards Alpha, and again, hopefully, fingers crossed, Brett, go for this triple.
So in that situation, like, what could we have seen differently from Bush at that particular moment? Like, it seemed like they should have been able to win that B site and then hold it. They had the advantage, they had the most players on it. They should have had the positioning as well.
I mean, they had the positioning, they had 2 guys on the flag, there was 1 guy in the smoke, but you know, there's a lot to think about when it comes to these competitive games, and it's not just can I shoot, where my position on the map. It's player counting, and it's also respawn counting as well. What ruined them there was the fact that it was a 2v1 that turned into a 2v4 very, very quickly. What we should have seen those guys do is pull back off of the flag, get their respawns in, and it would have been a 4v4 engagement. They still would have had decent positioning on the flag. I just don't think it was something they had on their minds at that point in time, and you know that's why they weren't able to hold.
You know, and oh, right now 2-on-1 right now, back and forth, and that will be Jimmy doing a decent job. He's down to 2 health, no health pack, and he is pinched between 2 players. He literally has nowhere to go. We are going to be seeing some heals, but only up to 32 health. That's that attrition coming on in, and he gets it! He gets the kill on Dash, and he gets a 3rd! Beautiful job as Evo goes down. Absolutely trashed right there. As Jimmy says, guys, this is my game. Get the hell off of this hill. We're taking it completely. Beautiful job coming in from Jimmy.
I mean, he absolutely baited his teammate there, but it was all worth it. What a showcase of what some of these guys can do. And again, what a random position to be in and win an engagement like that from. You know, and on 32 health as well, that tricking system, you know, it's basically turning up the difficulty just a tad. I don't think Jimmy needs a difficulty turned up anymore. He's absolutely dominating right now, and he's causing problems left, right, and center. The ticket gap is still 45 tickets apart. Chef really maintaining good control of this game, and Bush struggling to push out.
They are definitely, you know, this is what's crazy, right? I mean, this is not the Bush team that we saw in round number 1. They're on the back foot. They look like they're reacting the entire time, and they're not able to really get any wins. It's like they're breathing heavily here after a marathon, and they just can't catch their breath. And right now, Chef is just pushing. They're just pushing and pushing and pushing, and there's nothing here that these guys can do. Jimmy doing a fantastic job of just locking it down. He picks up 2 more kills. Max picking up another.
Whoa. One of them was his team there. So one of those kills was Stella. It was his teammate, but
it doesn't matter. He picks up a 3rd one. He picks up a 3rd one. It's going to be whoever it is. He's going to be just locking it down here, boys. It is absolutely fantastic gameplay coming in from him. He gets the health coming on through, and that is going to be a B flag cap here in just a few seconds, unless we can see these spawns really coming through for Bush, and it doesn't look like that's the case.
But what we do have is Maxi. Good decision by Chef to spawn 2 guys on Alpha to catch that rotation. I'm sorry, guys. I do have a bit of a spectator glitch here with these scopes. Hopefully, it's not going to be too much of a problem. But Rubber is now going to be pushing up, hopefully trying to contest Alpha. He's probably waiting for these spawns to push forward. But he's got players below, players across. Stella looking to move in. That's going to be an absolute bait as these shots come in. Rubber's going to try and finish that off, but the smokes hurting them more than it was hurting the guys from Bush. And that's been going to be quite a nice clean for them as they grab Alpha. They have got guys on Bravo. They've managed to secure Charlie. It's just how long can they hold this for? They need to try and draw these tickets down.
This was a position that we saw Bush doing really well from, actually, in the previous round. So maybe they're going to be able to sneak something out here. 36 tickets now to 82. And remember, that's 21 tickets that we got to take off of that 81. So that's going to actually be 60 tickets here that we need to be seeing drained from that Chef squad. So this is definitely doable. I mean, 35 tickets. You can hold this 2 cap for a while. You get a couple of squad wipes, possibly even rotate in onto that B to shift them back over to their gimme flag. This is an absolutely winnable match right now for Bush still. They just got to make sure that they play really good Battlefield for the next couple of minutes.
I mean, look at this repositioning here from Jimmy. He's getting it absolutely slapped by Sam. Knows when to fall back, tries to reposition, and Sam's just struggling to close this ground. Jimmy's playing to the strengths of the weapon he's using. He's mid to long range, and Sam's really struggling with it right now.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. We do see the push coming on through. Med pack should be coming into play here.
He manages to get the kill.
Nice.
Again, good retake by Bush here. They held them on Alpha for long enough, and now it's up to Chef to try and play those retakes.
And back and forth, back and forth. It does look like a 1v2. Stellar is going to be able to make it happen here. We do have a really good hold again. That BC flag section taken. That's going to allow them a lot of wiggle room here for Bush in order to maneuver their players, making sure that they don't have anybody behind them, or feeling comfortable they don't have anybody behind them. But the big push here onto the flank. 3 players are going to be up and around. And oh my God, did you see the shot right there from Stellar? He had literally a head to shoot at, and he absolutely ripped it off of that head glitch. Beautiful plays coming in from him, as we are going to be seeing flooding in to that B site.
Just how methodical this push has been from Chef. Like, it's not been a very quick throw everyone at the flag, hope you win. They've been taking these guys from Bush out one by one by one. Now the pace is really starting to pick up. Bush were able to get the time to respawn on the flag, and that comes from Sam just sitting behind, not getting involved in the fight. And it's the same thing they did before. Leave a guy behind, wait as long as you can, and then push a nice 4v2 engagement to try and retake and hold the flag. And it's the 3rd time it's worked for them now.
We do see a 2-man push coming in for both of the gimme flags. It does look like C is going to be getting grayed out. Chef is going to lose that, so that may be going into their favor. But we do have on the flip side A starting to get encroached on just a little bit. That does get cleared. So we have the BC hold once again here for Bush. 24 tickets to 37, and it's actually less than that. Remember, 21 tickets is the magic number in order for Bush to be able to take this game. And they just might be able to make it here in about 14 tickets. Absolutely stunning plays coming out from them here towards the end. Ash doing the work that he needs to with the Lewis, looking for number 2. Can't quite find it, but the kill feed is looking like Chef right now.
And now we start to see some even trades coming in. Berg on his own, though, on this Bravo flag. But guys, you've got to remember, Bush came from an 80 ticket deficit right here. They've done such a good job of bringing it down to, like these 16 tickets like Brett was saying. It's now down to 11 tickets. It's all for Bravo. They have to win this fight now, and they have to hold it. And these guys are really pushing in. Relentless is going to try and be the first through the door, but we start seeing absolute maniac of Rubber just launching himself across the street. Luckily, Berg holds back, and he's going to try to be pushing in. It's looking like a 3v2 on that Bravo flag. Starts to Evo pick up one. Berg picks up another on Jimmy. And it looks like the rest of the team are pushing in. 1 player left for the Chef side of things. And it looks like Evo sees him. Berg was going to get absolutely rinsed through the door. Evo Guardian Angel right now. Samus goes down towards the front. And we're starting to see Stella picking up 2. Just absolutely rinsing the right-hand side of that flag. Evo trying to hold this position, and he pushed out just a little too far.
Oh, this is all about seconds right now. Can they hold on these last few seconds? They can't quite get the cap on B. This is going to be a huge push coming in from the flank, and it looks like it's all going to be here for Chef as we see 5 players going completely down. Did they actually do this? It looks like they just may have. The B cap comes on in. Only 2 tickets left as it's all about time, and there just isn't enough there. We see Chef coming out with the win by 6 tickets. 6 tickets. They were able to take that map. A beautiful job coming in from them. Bush and everything that they were trying to do. A beautiful comeback in both rounds, almost making it happen in round number 2, but just could not make it there at the end. And I gotta say, that was a hell of a game.
I mean, I can understand why you say Devastation was your favorite map, because it leads to such awesome gameplay like that. And again, the fight in the church at the last moment, there's the longest engagement that we've seen in that map, and it was for the chicken at the end of the day. And 6 tickets, that's a huge amount.
Absolutely. Those are the games right there.
Right now, man.
Those are the games right there, man, that just, it takes me back to the days when we had just absolutely top tier teams all the time. It's fantastic back and forth. Like, oh man, it's so good, so good. You got your blood pumping. Even watching it right now, my adrenaline is just going. Beautiful games there from both teams, like not taking anything out from Bush. Like they played amazing in that game. I think they had maybe some missteps early on in that round that really hurt them towards the end of that match. But overall, being able to recover, I think it was like a 55 ticket deficit or maybe a 60 ticket deficit. It was something like that. But they were able to recover that and make that comeback to that close. Like that's a huge deal right there. We don't see that very often, being able to recover. And these guys were able to do that to an extent. Unfortunately, not getting the W, but that is going to be another map win for Chef as they're continuing on this win streak. Can they make it map number 3, or are we going to be able to see Bush at least eke out one of these maps in this 3-map day?
And I mean, you know, we're going to bring this back to why we are here tonight. Those are the kind of games that Jordy absolutely loved to play and was involved in. And his teammates are putting on an absolute show for us. For those of us who have joined a little bit later tonight, this is the Jordy Invitational. Jordy was such an instrumental competitive player. He was involved in majority of the leagues and getting, you know, a lot of the leagues and teams organised to play. Unfortunately, he passed away not too long ago, and hopefully we can see some of the guys putting the link in the chat for the charity that we are raising money for as one of his last and final wishes to us. This is the A&E care unit that looks after Jordy in his final days with us, and so far the community has raised over £6,000 for them. Honestly, well done, and thank you guys. And I really hope you are enjoying this Jordy Invitational in memory of probably one of the best competitive players that I have had the pleasure of spectating throughout my career as a caster.
Absolutely, absolutely. The man was so good, both as a person and as a player, and he is going to be missed dearly in the community. But you know, as you said, this is the game that he wanted to play, right? This is the moments that he loved, and it's so awesome that we're able to. In a celebration, as bad as it is right now with the situation, but in a celebration of him and kind of just what he was to this community, be able to see these games coming on out. So we're going to be getting in here to our 3rd map. This is Lofton here. This match right here, this is a crazy map. The amount of destruction that can happen on this map is insane, like absolutely insane. And we literally can see no buildings standing whatsoever, and people just basically having to go by smokes and by random debris on the ground. We see some really good shots coming in from Ash. He is going to be able to pick up one. Picks up 2 as well. Oh my God, the turnaround. He said, sit down. This is my flag, baby.
And Bush absolutely dominating right now. They're going to go for that triple. And it's not looking too good for the guys from Chef right now. And it's not often that you see the A-side team pushing this far up. Usually what happens is the C-side team is definitely the better starting position, in my opinion. You can definitely hold a lot more of the map when you're spawning from C. And yeah, it looks like Bush just absolutely I don't think I've seen a lot of blue in the kill feed, Brett. When was the last time you saw blue?
Well, it's typically on the right-hand side of the kill feed instead of the left, that's for sure. But yeah, Chef is not having a good time whatsoever here. And you know, as you're saying, like it's just really good shots coming on for these guys. I mean, they got the better position. They're definitely situating themselves for these longer shots, and it's really going to come down to, I think, a combined push coming out for Chef. You know, they've been relying on 1 or 2 really hot and heavy guns on their team. Well, it's time for the rest of them to really start showing up and really start producing. And we'll see if that push is going to be happening right now. Max is going to be able to pick up 1. Rubber picks up number 2. Can they get all the way around here to the C flag and get out of the spawn trap that we have seen happen?
I mean, this is going to be a massively important engagement here with Max. He's pushed up to the barrels. Hopefully we can start to see teammates spawn on him. That's going to bust open the center of the map. We're just going to move up to the top here. We're starting to see the likes of Ash already picking up that Maxi was able to break through. He's now going to watch that rotation that the players are spawning in. And it's going to be up to Ash now to try and defend against a 1v3 as they push on towards Charlie.
And here it is. We do see a nice little headshot coming in potentially. Nope. Won't be able to connect. 99. Don't you just hate those kills or those shots? 99. Like what happened? Why am I just now losing out on 1% of getting that kill? But he makes it up. Ash will be able to pick up Stellar, as we are going to be seeing his teammates finishing out on Max as well, picking him up. So not going to be able to make that push onto C. It is going to be completely fizzled out. Where the spawn's going to be coming in? Well, it's going to be on the north side over onto A. And this is one of the reasons I think back when I was casting, this map was so loved and so hated, is because of the spawns. Like, if you can get a 3-cap, you can really get some good control on it, but it is so hard for the other team if you don't have that coordination to get out of this.
And this is what I was talking about earlier, that seaside spawn is definitely the better spawn for you. You push up over to Alpha, the yellow building, very, very easy to hold. You've got that fallback of White Central, which again is a pivotal point in the map. You control the mid of this map, you control the game. And trying to push out of the natural spawn on A is absolutely just painful meat grinder. But now we're starting to see Chef is able to find their feet a little bit more. They turn some heads at Bravo. The problem with Chef right now is they're pushing for the right positions. They're just not getting the kills with them. And it's absolutely hurting them right now. It's the one thing that they're struggling at. Bush are just absolutely dominating. I don't think they were happy about that last round. I generally don't think they were too happy about that.
You know, yeah, it definitely lit a fire on them, that's for sure. 4 players now in the kill feed going into the favor right now of Bush. Could it be 5? No, it's not. Or yes, it is actually, as Evo does get taken or takes one down. Ash also picks up Max as well. So their push over onto A completely fails for Chef, as they are completely wiped out. Now the respawn's coming back in over there onto that A side, and yeah, just nothing going their way at all. And this is one of the maps here that you can really get aggressive on, WildTime. Like, you can make sure that you can just pin that team in the back and there's nothing they can do, and you don't have to worry about your back flags as much. You don't have to worry about those leaks as much as you would have to before. But as we are saying that, 2 players do manage to get it onto B for Chef. Now, can they actually stay alive? They do. Stellar going to be able to pick up one. Jimmy picks up another one there, so that will open it up for this B site to get capped over. But 38 tickets left to 132. That's going to be a tall order, man.
It definitely is. And Lawrence, again, piloting those flanks and pushes. We saw him do that on Devastation. We've seen him doing that on Province. He is the man flanking around the back, acting as that spawn beacon for the rest of the team and just punching those holes in. And kind of for the first time since the beginning of the game there, we really saw Chef take sort of that initiative, winning that key fight on Bravo. Lawrence contesting Charlie. He gets discovered, he gets spotted, he's got teammates with him. Jimmy's going to be looking to push up right now. Jimmy picks up a double on Ash and Samas. That's going to bust this wide open. Lawrence putting the fire down, trying to open up the buildings a little bit. Jimmy sees 2 more pushing in. It's going to be up to Lawrence now. But the important thing is they finally have 2 flags on the board, and they've just got 100 tickets left to burn before they make it even.
So I love Lawrence, I really do, but right now my boy's on a goose egg here. He needs to get some kills going. He needs to get something going right now to help his team out. He doesn't have any more health, and he's not going to get anything. 8 deaths here. Lawrence is in a huge downturn here in terms of his playing, and he's just not able to make anything happen. Look at Bush here. 3 more players going down. That's a complete wipe there on the map, as they are going to be able to get control of that B site. They're getting control of that C flag. A is contested here, but they have the majority players, and I think right now this might be the nail to end this game.
I mean, and what a game it has been. Honestly, this round has been just a masterclass from the guys from Bush. Like, they are really just dominating the game, and where they have had leaks push through, they've just plugged them, like, within a minute. They really haven't lost any tickets. I think they've lost like 5 tickets before that. And I think it's a good game when Brett starts off this, Mike. I'm going to let you do most of the casting. You do most of talking. My throat's hurting me a little bit. And he just can't keep his mouth shut through this bit. It's absolute hype fest right now with some of these players just dominating and showing us how it's done.
It absolutely is. And this right now is just they're not going to win this round. Chef is not going to win this round with 8 tickets, but they can maybe drag it underneath that 100 ticket mark. And again, as you said, Chef started out on the rougher side. Like, they started out on the harder spawn side overall. So if they can maybe do the same to Bush in that next game, this is a possibility that they could make it an even one here, but they've got to make sure that they drag those tickets down and they lose that middle flag. They're not going to be able to get that 2 flag cap. So probably not going to get it underneath 2 flags, 100 tickets to get it to that double-digit match, and they won't. But yeah, that is just, it's rough, man. Yeah, pulling up the scoreboard real quick. Just keep it up if you can, and take a look right now. Yeah, look at that. Only 1 player in double digits, Stellar, going in for Chef. That is not what we have seen these last 2 maps. You know, the domination from Jimmy just wasn't there. You know, Stellar, yeah, he was able to get in double digits, but again, the domination wasn't there. Max wasn't being the solid player that he was, at least breaking even in every one of his fights. Lawrence being 0-8 towards the end of that game, like, you just don't see that. And utter domination coming in right now from Bush in that map, something we had not seen yet. Beautiful plays from them. I got to say, you know, this is going to be very interesting if we can have a turnaround, or is Bush going to be able to continue this domination for this next round?
Yeah, and, you know, Lofton, for me, I really enjoyed the map. I think it's, you know, it's the right amount of open area, but it really relies on your positioning. If you can control the center of the map where that white building is, you really dominate the rest of the flags. And you notice that a lot more in sort of the larger sort of scale modes outside of 5v5. We saw this played in a sort of 8v8. But, I mean, I don't think you can do much against Bush when they are on form like that. There was not a single player on that lineup that was, that was trying to pull their weight. You know, they were just playing solidly. They were all vibing. Everyone was in the right position, and it was just rough. That's really was just rough.
Every single one of those players were just gelling. Like, they were trading out kills. They were baiting each other perfectly. Like, it just felt like they were just pub stomping in that round. Like, I hate to say it, but that's exactly what it looked like. It's a good old pub stomp coming on in. But here is an opportunity right now for Chef to basically redeem themselves. We'll see if it's going to be happening. Good start right now coming into the middle of the map, as we do see Ash and we see Sam getting picked up.
Yeah, Stella, last man alive on Bravo. He's got 1 on the flag with him, catching him through the window. But Evo feeling a little bit filthy tonight, able to get that flick on. Headshot to both Maxi and Stella right there. And it looks like Bush going to secure Alpha and Bravo. Nice to see. They're going to start pushing it on to Charlie. I did notice I was seeing Rubber out with the Recon class right now. Not something you often see, if I'm honest.
It is not. And that's really interesting coming in from Chef, too, because they are kind of on the back foot here. So for them to come out with a class that is typically more passive, I mean, usually that class is something. Two-man push coming up. Not going to be able to come out on top. He does get taken out, but A is heavily contested. It's a 1v1, I believe, at the moment, maybe a 1v2 or 2v2. But it is going to be going in the way of Chef, as they are struggling here to get any kind of flags whatsoever. C is going to be going over into the favor of Bush, as 3 players are going to be coming on through. That's 4 players down. Switch is the only one left up and alive, and he's not going to be able to save that A site whatsoever.
Yeah, Ash is now in the position of spawn trapping, and like I said before, the Charlie side tends to dominate this map, like we saw Bush doing before. Dominating from the A side, pushing onto Charlie and getting the spawn trap on Charlie, tends to be a lot more difficult. I think Bush are just showing us a masterclass of how to dominate these games. They're smoking up inside the Charlie flag. Is making it hard for the guys from Chef to push out and really see anything. They have to expose themselves if they want to try and get some of these kills. It's not working well. Maxi round the back. He's just trying to work his way around, get some picks through some of the destruction. And while Stella and Rubber are able to get some of those kills, we've seen Ash and Berg immediately respond in kind. But Chef are now starting to find their feet. They're pushing out through the map. They have that sense of control, and now they're making their way towards Bravo. They just have to be careful to, not to overextend. They have to play this Bravo flag right, get those kills, and not let Rubber knife you. Is also a good suggestion as well.
Absolutely. B side is going to be heating up. It's a 2-on-2 here onto the site. Does look like Chef is going to be able to get inside. Nobody blowing down the walls just yet to open it up. Nice job there from Lawrence, as he is going to be able to pick up one. He is now 2 and 4, so much better than what we saw previously in that situation, round number 1. But that's going to be 2 flag advantage there for them right now. And they're going to be over here pushing towards that A side. This is going to be really key if they can kind of get these initial frags pushing on up, and they will be able to take down one. That's going to be Sam getting taken out. Stellar will be able to pick up Berg as well. And Ash, I think, is the lone man. We do see a spawn coming in, so he's going to be 2 people trying to hold on to this A site, onto the flag itself. And Stellar picks up 4! He picks up 4! And he's going to go all the way to A! Beautiful job! Looking for the long-range shots. Not going to be able to take it. But my God, the man is on a mission.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we need to see from Chef. It's kind of what we needed to see for them for last round. They're now starting to warm up to things. I think they're learning a little bit how Bush are playing and rotating around the map. And with that, they're going to start to get that triple cap, and they're going to be the ones looking for that spawn trap here. And yeah, they're starting to really get things cleaned up right now. Jimmy picking up 2 there on Evo and Ash. They're now moving towards Bravo to try and clean things up. I think Stella's just hunting for people. And hopefully we can see them close this gap down. They've got 115 tickets to make up here. It's a tall order, Brett. It really is.
It's a very tall order, absolutely. But, right now, it is all about pride, right? It's all about, hey, we cannot let it go down. Oh, my God! We see a Car 98 switch picking up 3 headshots in a row. What the hell just happened? Why are we not on his view here? Beautiful jobs coming in from him to be able to pick up those frags, especially with a sniper rifle, of all things.
Yeah, unfortunately, he loses positioning just a little bit as Relentless pushes with the Mark II carbine. I don't think Relentless was too happy about that one there. Rubber trying to look to see. I think he just missed players moving on his left. Though he is recorrecting right now. He's getting shot. Boom! Gets absolutely deleted right there. And now things start to get a little bit spicy as he's there with a sniper and he's got 3 guys without pushing him, and it's going to get a bit rough right now.
Yes, I want to see this. I want to see close. Oh my God! Snap right on him, and he's going to be able to take him down. Berg. Or a beautiful job as we see just beautiful action coming in with that sniper rifle. And yeah, that's what we wanted to see at the start of this game. Unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. They needed that aggression. I think taking out that sniper rifle there definitely makes sense if you're able to hit those shots. Maybe not at the beginning, and I think that was where the mistake was. But they're starting to correct it. We do see C, though, getting completely flashed down. It is going to be going into the favor right now of Bush. So the leak has happened. We have seen a crack in the armor right now that is Chef. We'll see if they're going to be able to repair that, or maybe it's going to get even worse here as B is starting to get flashed as well.
Yeah, we started to see Stella trying to hold on to that Charlie, tie things down. Maxi now looking to push on to Bravo. And again, it surprised me that Rubber was there with the sniper. I would have thought Maxi was going to be the first one to pick it, especially from his previous Battlefield 5 performance. The guy is absolutely monstrous on the recon class.
Oh, yeah, absolutely is. And we are going to be seeing Lawrence now coming on up onto that B flag. Wow, he's taking a lot of damage from a lot of different directions here as he's trying to find some place to go through. And this is what's so rough about this position throughout the mid and late games of the map. There's just no cover at all. Everything is blown down. So very hard to push on through, but he makes it happen in the end. Picks up 1 kill before he does end up getting taken out. But we are going to be seeing Bush with that 2 flag advantage, and they are going to be able to drag that ticket count down.
Yeah, and we're starting to see Maxi now leading the charge towards Charlie. It's a 3v3 on the flag, though the positioning on Charlie probably isn't that good for Bush right now. That ZK from Evo is going to be absolutely decimating right now as he picks up one Relentless, and Ash helping him with the rest right now.
And I gotta say, can you pull up the scoreboard real quick?
Sure.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard right now. That is a much better scoreboard than what we had previously. Chef there looking pretty good. Switch there in that 10-4 with that recon class. Stellar 16-8 as he is definitely rocking it up. Ash having a little bit of trouble though over there on the Bush side, as well as Sam, and that's really making a difference here. As you can see, you know, all the guys pretty much over onto Chef in the double digits, not what it was in round number 1 here. And you can definitely see that they're feeling a little bit more comfortable overall. As Evo though, coming in from the backside, he's going to be able to take down 3 with the help of his teammate, and that is going to be a full clear onto that Bravo site.
He's looking for the 4th right now, but he's taken a absolutely monstrous hit there, and he's just going to have to hold this position. Sees one pushing in. Unfortunately, we saw a Lawrence jumping and body hopping out of the way. I don't think he was expecting that one when he was tracking just a minute ago.
No, that is good teamwork though, being able to basically confuse your opponent there, coming on out. That's something that is very hard to find in teams, especially, you know, in a pickup game like this, where really these guys haven't played solidly together on this game in probably a while.
Sorry, that was just absolutely filthy from Relentless there, jumping in, moving around, getting such a clean shot there off on Maxi, and now he's going to be pushing towards that Bravo flag. Sees the play in front of him. Lawrence goes down. He sees another one pushing up. Fortunately, can't get any hits. He needs to get into some cover. Fortunately, it's not going to happen as Stellar is able to finish off that kill. And moving on to Ash as well. Can he pick up a 3rd here? Unfortunately, can't. Evo's able to push in, but Jimmy there for the support. And again, this is surprising. It's crazy how the maps really change which players dominate. We saw on those very laney maps where, you know, quite obvious cutoff points between the flags, Jimmy was dominant. Absolutely dominant. In this map here, where you're forced into a bit more open terrain, there's not many places you can set up and hold and just be a nuisance. You know, he's really suffering. He genuinely is really suffering right now.
This map right here, I think, really does tend to cater towards the more movement-friendly individual. The guys that like to move around and be aggressive, and they're constantly sliding and dipping and dodging and diving all the way around the map. Those are the type of guys that really do well on a map like this. There's so many areas that you can kind of get out of lines of sight and pop back up on that it makes it so much more advantageous. And right there, Stellar being able to dip inside that house just at the last second and avoid that death. That's what you need to be seeing from these aggressive guys. And with these, you know, non-linear type maps, that's what you're going to be able to get. And right now, it is looking so darn good. It's 18 tickets now to 64, as we are going to be seeing that A flag starting to go back over into the favor of Bush. They've got the clearing up here onto A. We're starting to rotate over onto B. It looks like there may be 1 or 2 stragglers over there towards that A side from the middle of the map. Nice job from Evo, able to pick up the kill in the smokes, but he does unfortunately go down.
Yeah, and Chef now starting to reposition, and I think I like what you're saying there. It definitely focuses a lot more on those faster-paced guys. I mean, I'm having to be quite fast-paced on the switching of players right now. Chef absolutely dropping like fries. Relentless and Sam, you need to calm down just a little bit for me. But yeah, and you know, notice how the map is opening up as well, Brett. That Bravo flag was close quarters, a lot of angles you had to watch. It's now just an open area that you have to, you know, someone like Berg right now and Jimmy should now do very well against. It's put a short-ranged area to something that's a bit more mid that hopefully helps them out.
And that right there is going to be close to the end of the game. 1 ticket left here for Bush. They can't lose anybody. They can't make sure, or they have to make sure that nobody goes down, as Relentless does just that. Don't know if he's going to be able to get revived, but this is a fantastic game right here for both of these teams. And Chef really did try and fight back and take the win here. But unfortunately, overall, they do lose in the ticket count, even with the round win. But look at Stellar, 26-13. He did not go out without a bang.
Yeah, absolutely masterclass of what Battlefield 5 competitive used to be, Brett. Absolutely brilliant to see these boys back on, and you know, I genuinely think Jordy would have been proud of all of these guys, showing the community just how awesome, you know, the competitive was, and it could still be. For those of you who maybe joined us a little bit late, this is the Jordy Invitational. Jordy was one of the big competitive players of the scene, and unfortunately he passed away not too long ago. Massive player for Pro Legion. I remember playing against him myself back in Battlefield 1, and was an inspiration to many all the way through Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. He got heavily involved in helping out a lot of the leagues, and especially here ESB was heavily involved in getting a lot of the teams together and just helping make the operation move smoothly. One of his last wishes to us was to set up a fundraiser for the charity, the intensive care team, who helped him during his final days, and we are doing just that. You can see the link in the chat, and so far we have raised over £6,000 for the intensive care unit at the Lancashire Teaching Hospitals Foundation, and they basically help teach and supply and sort of make sure that these units are able to do the jobs that they did, especially for Jimmy sort of in his last final days. I want to thank everyone that turned up tonight to watch this invitational. It was absolute masterclass, and it was great again, and a pleasure for me and Brett to be here once again. It's been a good couple of years since you've been in the casting seat, especially for Battlefield and especially for some of these players as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a fantastic day. I hope everybody out there enjoyed the matches, and I hope the players enjoyed as well, being able to kind of relive the glory days, as you said before, of the competitive Battlefield scene. But yeah, you know, thank everybody here for watching. Once again, if you can, go over to the link. If you can't donate, because we understand times are really hard right now, just share it out. Share it out on Twitter. Share it out on Facebook. Get it out there. And you know, anything and everything does absolutely help in this particular situation. So we do appreciate you guys, at the very least, for being here and honoring Jordy's memory, because he would have absolutely appreciated it. And yeah, I mean, it's been a hell of a good time here to be back in the casting seat with WildTime. This is, well, it's a bittersweet moment, that is for sure, especially the reason why we're here, but also because I really do miss this. I miss being with the community, with you guys out there watching, with Code and with Tim. Like, these guys have done an amazing job throughout the years. They don't get enough credit for what they have done. And, you know, I really hope that years down the road that there'll be a piece of us that will be remembered. There'll be a piece of ESB that will be remembered for what they have been able to achieve throughout the years. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, and from what I've been hearing, it may not be over just yet. There might be something out there that ESB still has in the gas tank. So we might be seeing some news for that here coming up in the future.
Yeah, and from myself, thank you guys all for watching. Like I said, it was an absolute pleasure to cast, not only just for Battlefield again, but for this Jordy Invitational, for someone who brought such pleasure and happiness to everyone in the community. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekends, and hopefully we'll catch you in the not too distant future. Cheers.
We'll be able to spot out one. We'll clean him up. Looks for number 2 and finds him. Good solid hold here in the middle, as number 3 does pop on through. We'll be able to pick up number 4. Beautiful hold so far. Spotting out one on the stairs. Late to the rotations right now, but we should be able to see some fires. Nice job. We'll be able to take down 1. Looks for 2. Finds him. Right here. If they can pick up this third one. Breaks the flashpoint wide open.
Okay, one more behind. Hold the phone, that's it. I'm gonna
in conflict, I don't avoid it. I'm never stopping, I'm getting it till it's won. I get it done, in my blood, got the code, DNA.
Go. Oh, there it is. That's what we've been looking for. This is what ESB is all about, baby.